So I'm gonna show you how to do the most worthless technique ever. It's the interval glissando. So first things first, you gotta learn how to do a regular glissando. The standard classical technique is you use your nails. When you're going up, use the back of your hands. And then when you're coming down, you use your thumb tucked in underneath like this. It's not the only way you do it. When you're doing a glissando, you need to move your hands across the keys in such a way that will press them down. That sounds simple, right? So when you have your hands like this, diagonal, facing the direction of travel, what happens is that when you move your hand to the next key, it actually presses them down. So with very little pressure. The thing is, if you don't maintain this angle, your fingers will get stuck. If your fingers are straight up and down, they will not glide. You need to maintain your angle throughout the entirety of your glissando, which means if you're doing a glissando downward, you can never lose this angle. Your wrist is facing the other way so that you can maintain this angle. So you will have to use your whole body to make sure that your arm is angled properly. If your angle changes, like this, your glissando will not work. For instance, look at this. If I were to maintain the angle the entire time, it works great. As you just saw, I was able to glissando with just my fingertips. And I've been doing it with various surfaces now. There isn't one glissando technique. Anything can work. Palms, blade of your hand. So how do we do an interval glissando? Well, let's start with descending. You need to make sure that you're doing this with your thumb, which I guess is the standard technique, so it's fine. Now try this with one of your upper fingers. I prefer the middle finger for this. Tilt it like so. It will hurt a little bit because you're using the fleshy bits of your hands. If you combine the two, you get this very bizarre hand position. But you should be able to glide it. See? Perfect. Going the other direction, you have to bend your middle finger almost backwards, like this, so that you can go up. And then your thumb, you'll be able to kind of wipe across. And it will not be smooth because your thumb is fleshy. So if you combine the two positions of your thumb going upward in a wiping motion and your upper finger going kind of in this tilted manner, you will get this. Not the best glissando in the world, but it will work. So what about the octave? That's the one that everyone wants to know how to play. Well, coming downwards, pretty much the same as before. The key to this one is you have to overstretch, because in order for you to get the downward glide correctly, your hand is almost stretched to a ninth, even though you're playing an eighth. Normally, if you have your hands for an octave and you bend your thumb back, you're now playing a seventh. So what you need to do is you need to stretch for a ninth and then bend your thumb back. So now your hand's in the correct position. Now glide that downward. And then you have it. Going upward is actually easier for me, but I think most people disagree with me. You overstretch once again. And then you bend your pinky backwards a little bit. So now you are reaching for an eighth, but you're playing an octave. And then give yourself a little prayer and just go for it. Perfect. And as for the triad, don't practice it. It's a waste of time. But hey, sounds cool.